Vacation is off. Expect a visit from our lawyer. My father announced it at the reunion. Plates stopped scraping. Conversations thinned to a hush. Across the table, Gordon Hale held my gaze without blinking. My mother, Elaine, stared at her plate like it could save her. My sister Tessa leaned back, a satisfied flicker at the corner of her mouth. All because I wouldn't co-sign a loan. $220,000 for Tessa's fresh start, a boutique she swore would finally make her independent. I'd heard the same promise in different outfits, a juice bar, a wellness subscription box, a pop-up that died before the banner arrived. Each time, someone panicked and I paid. Just sign it, Dad had demanded earlier in the kitchen. Family supports each other. Not like this, I'd said, keeping my voice steady. The room had gone silent, then loud. Tessa's instant tears, Mom's soft pleading, Dad's anger contained only by the walls. He'd saved his ultimatum for the audience, for the public shaming. At the table, I didn't argue. I didn't tally the mortgage I covered, the utilities in my name, the transfers labeled temporary that never returned. I simply nodded, as if I accepted my role. Then I stood, pushed in my chair, and walked out. By morning, with coffee cooling beside my laptop, I opened the banking app and the black folder of statements I'd been collecting for years. My hands didn't shake. I froze the accounts, locked the emergency funds, and cut the autopay threads that kept their lives stitched together. I set my phone face down and listened to the house settle, waiting for the first crack of their panic. My name is Mara Hale, and by 7:15 a.m., the silence was gone. Gordon's number kept flashing until I turned my phone face down and drank my coffee in peace. At 8, Mom emailed, "How could you?" Elaine wrote, "This is a misunderstanding. Your father is upset, but we can fix it. Please call. Fix it." The phrase that always meant pay for it. At noon, Tessa messaged, "You killed my boutique. They won't release the money." I stared at the screen, then closed it. I could picture her practicing tears in mirror, then dialing Dad for backup. At 3:02, Dad texted, "Undo it now or you'll see consequences." My stomach stayed level. The fear they relied on wasn't showing up. The family chat erupted anyway. Elaine pleading, Tessa calling me a traitor, Gordon declaring I'd crossed a line. I muted it and went back to work. Their emergency didn't get to be my schedule anymore. At 7:08 p.m., 3 hard knocks hit my door. I opened it and they were there. Gordon up front, eyes sharp. Elaine behind him, crying. Tessa to the side, mascara smeared, fists clenched. "You've gone too far," Gordon said, stepping inside without waiting. "Please," Elaine whispered, "just fix it." "No," I said. "I'm done being your safety net." Tessa darted toward my desk. The black folder sat there, fat with years of receipts. I blocked her. "Touch my things, and I call the police." Gordon leaned close. One chance. I lifted my phone and turned the screen toward them. Frozen accounts, locked funds, every line sealed. "If you believe I owe you, talk to my lawyer." Then I opened my door wide. Get out. 2 days later, I invited them back. On my terms. The black folder sat on the table. My phone rested in my palm. Gordon arrived first. Elaine trailed him, eyes wet. Tessa came last, arms crossed. "We can put this behind us," Dad said. "Unfreeze the accounts, co-sign the loan, then we move on." I slid the folder toward him. I already moved on. He flipped pages and went still. Transfers, mortgage payments, utilities, receipts, years of them living on my yes. Tessa scoffed until she saw her own messages printed out. "You're exaggerating," she said, but it landed flat. I tapped my phone. Tessa's voice played, bright and cruel. "She's an ATM. Dad will make her pay." Then Gordon's. "Pressure her. Family is leverage." Elaine covered her mouth. Gordon shot up. "That's illegal." "My attorney disagrees," I said, placing an envelope beside the folder. "Revocation of authorization. Any demand goes through counsel. Show up again and I file for a restraining order." Silence followed. Real silence, the kind they'd never given me. I opened the door. I love the idea of family, I said. Not the version that eats one daughter alive. They left without a word. I locked the door, turned my phone back on, and watched the missed calls sit there like insects under glass. At midnight, I emailed my attorney the recordings and receipts, then scheduled the letters. I changed passwords, canceled shared cards, and set my rent transfer to a new account. For the first time, I opened a travel site and booked a week away.